All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome, the CatDoge community to the Moulin Rouge Launch VIP, and also welcome all the people that came through the spaces we just hosted. Part four of our academy. There was around 200 people, an awesome, awesome audience. I believe a lot of you enjoyed, and I'm saying that on the same note, if you enjoyed the way and the hosting of how I did the spaces, well, the same gonna happen over in here and we will get to know everything, every single part of the project, let's say, about the CatDoge that is recently about to launch. So Aaron, welcome to the Moulin Rouge launch once again. I'm Olnan, I will be your host tonight, and I'm eager to hear more about the upcoming launch. Thank you for coming.
Conan, thank you for having me, man. I've got a couple other co-owners on this project, Frankie Shills and the Pigtator. They're going ahead and sticking around in our group chat, and I'm just coming out here and talk to you guys about CatDoge today. Ellen, it's a pleasure to be here, man. It's good to work with you again. Where would you like me to start?
Right. You know what? Like when I was thinking of how I would, let's say, dissect all the parts of the academy. The first part is about project introduction. So the same kind of format we will use over in here. And I would love to hear more about the team. I would love to hear more about the experience you guys have from within the space or even your personal life. So please, let's start with you personally and drop me. I'm sorry. I'm just checking like if everything fine with my mic. Like, is it cool or not?
Yeah, you're like you can tell that you're not in like a studio setup, but I can understand you. And I think that's all that matters when it comes down to it. Is that you're um yeah, that I can hear what you're saying.
Right. But you know what? I will quickly send you over the recording from within the spaces. Like, I'm not sure like how bad it is. Like how bad it is. Because it should be actually like a normal kind of convo. Not sure if there are some crackles or anything like that. If yes, I will fix that right away. But
Sounds a little
I'm
but it's not cutting out. You know what I mean? So that's good. That's good.
all right, all right. Well, if that's cool, I think we can continue. But if not, it is a no trouble for me to hop on a phone and actually run it through the data. But you know what? Let's start with an introduction on your behalf once again, and I will fix this during the talk. So, Aaron, please let me know more about the experience so far you had from within the space, and if you can drop us a little info also about your personal life and what you do, so we get to know the base and build on that.
Yeah, so I mean, to be perfectly honest, guys, like I kind of come from the service industry. I've done a lot of service related jobs, whether it be restaurant work, I've driven a cab for a long period of time. Um, and I've done other kinds of entrepreneurial services in my days, but for the most part, I mean, we're front end people. We are people. We're social people. Um, that's the kind of core team that we have. We've got me, Frankie, and Pig. That's pretty much our MO. We're shillers, raiders, managers, marketers, promoters. Like this is kind of our realm. Is the front end, right? That's where we shine, and that's really what like our experience is embedded in. Um, as far as the more personal work life, I'm in a position where right now crypto is my full-time job. I'm trying to make it in this space, and it's an amazing place to navigate. It's an amazing place to be. Frankie and Pig, they both have their day jobs as well. um Pig actually owns his own little painting business. He's a hardworking guy. So we kind of all come from humble beginnings, right? We're good people that came together in the space. We've known each other. I've known them for about a year and a half. Pig and Frankie have been friends for about 3 years. Um, they actually started in the space with a little doing some shilling for some projects, and it kind of just moved up from there. And then they opened up their own poker channel, and they were paying out of pocket for people's prizes just to build up their channel and make a good community. And at the time, I'd been building through a few different little projects, kind of working into community manager positions from moderator positions, which initially started as just being a strong community supporter in a project. In my very first project back in uh, May of 2021. That's when I entered the space, was kind of in the middle of the previous bull run. And the first project that I got into that I was really about, and I put, I aped into it, and I put all my money into it, and it turned out to be a slow rug. Um, and I caught, I audited the dev. I'd been basically the interim, right? Like the last person, like technically on the team, like between them, just naive and trying to figure out the space and just taking his word for everything. And finally, I was start to smarten up, and I started reading the blockchain, and yeah, I traced back all of his transactions. I spent a day because he accidentally dropped the wallet, and I led this exodus out of this project when he was sleeping and had everybody sell before he could rug them any further. Like it was a really crazy experience, man. And that was kind of like the first step into the space for me. So um yeah, and like I said, just kind of upgrade. I was on a very serious DeFi project, which is where you last know me from, called Me, for about 9 months. That sadly didn't pan out, but the experience was monumental. I've never done so much work in my life. 16, 18-hour days were pretty regular in the cabbing industry, but you know, it was much more regular in crypto, I can tell you that. Um, so yeah, that's kind of like the origins of like some of our personal life and some of our history in the space. We have had a lot of experience working on projects in the space and being instrumental parts of projects in the space, but this is technically our first project as um, you know, founders, owners. Um, Let me go ahead and give you a second to pop in a question.
Right, sure. So at first, I want to ask if the mic is better.
Great. Yeah, you sound great. You're not as muffled.
Okay. Awesome, awesome. So yeah, now it should be all better. And right, like having known like a little of the past, like I would love to also hear a bit about the story of the project. So I think you are kind of similar to what you guys could hear on the host of Earn Sphere. I think the stories kind of overlap and are great. So I would ask you, Aaron, if you could introduce us to the story of a CatDoge, and well, from there we will get to a current status. But at first, that story and how it originated, a little about the branding, that, so we understand the potential and also the soul and heart.
Dude, absolutely. So Frankie Shills was actually the person who initially came up with this concept. We're all familiar with the CatDog cartoon that was on Nickelodeon back in like late 90s, early 2000s and stuff. We were, and he thought about it and thought the idea of combining cat and having CatDog and making it CatDoge and combining a cat token and getting rewards in Doge. That was the whole idea. You buy cat and you get Doge, and it was CatDoge, and we really loved it. It was super cool. We thought it was super clever. Of course, we saw like, oh, there's been other CatDoge projects, but none of them had Doge rewards. So at least we had that like going for us, right? um there's so many things have been tried in this space, right? And you sometimes you never know until you try that, like, oh, somebody's done something similar before or something. But that didn't stop us, right? We still had our own like original twist to it. And also, I mean, we're just generally better team, better people than a lot of the nonsense we see happening in this space. um yeah, so that's how it started. And so Frankie and Pig, they had been working on this. I didn't even know at the time. They had been working with their network, having people help them build the website, create a little like game for it. They fleshed out the Telegram and everything. They had all these stickers. It was really cool. basically it was a full-on word to mouth, like zero marketing, like pure organic little BSC project that we tried to turn into something, and ultimately like just have it be a safe haven for our own investment purposes in the space, because we were sick and tired of getting rugged, man. Like I think we've probably
Mm,
I know we've lost more money in the space than we've made, guaranteed. The house
right.
is definitely winning, considering how, just there's just so many problems in the space. Hey, so we want to be part of that solution, right? And we're like, hey, we'll make BSC great again, and then we realized BSC is in a it's in a bad spot, man. Like we I don't know if we may not have been well enough equipped to handle, what's the issues that are happening on this network, and unfortunately, we're running into a lot of walls in our network. So um, yeah, they once they had, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, but once they had kind of developed the idea and
Oh,
shown
cool.
me what they had been working on, I was like, I'd love to get in on this, and I did. I made a theme song, and we rocked it, man. We rocked that BSC side for about 4 months.
So you're saying 4 months, like that is quite long time. So are you able
For
to
a
say
BSC
that you are?
project.
Mhm. Go on, go on.
I was saying, yeah, it's a long time, especially for a BSC project these days,
Yeah.
and it had like a still nice looking chart. Crazy,
Yeah,
like
like my
how
point was
committed.
that for a BSc kind of a project like that time is like a really long time in order to create a little of a community backing. That's one thing. Another a little of a brand awareness, right? So probably you are not cooking out of the water. Like, am I correct on this? That you already got some of the, let's say, past supporters, and now they rejoin in and support them.
Yeah, actually, the great thing, so a lot of migrations,
Mm,
relaunches, what happens is a lot of the community is like they're just trying to exit their positions, right? That's what we see a lot in these situations, and that's why on a lot of migrations and relaunches, you see a lot of disgruntled, disappointed investors who are leaving on that launch day. We don't have that problem. Everybody who's here are the OGs, the diamond hands. Nobody's here because it went to dust and they're mad and waiting to get something out of it. It's just we had a great chart. Everyone's here of their own consent. We actually had for our community migration, this is what we did. We said, hey guys, we want to go to ETH. You're on board with us. Everybody was on board. We wanted to do it. And we said, okay, send in your tokens to this wallet if you want to do this. We had 83% of the total supply show up in that wallet between all of the community and the bags that they bought and the bags that the team had bought. And it was just amazing to see that kind of support come out. Um, and people could have sold. We told people, we're going to be doing a community sell off. This is your last chance. If you want to sell, please exit. We're giving them opportunity, and nobody wanted to. We had very, very little people leave the project at that point. Everybody
right.
else wanted to come with us. So, yeah, lots of committed, hardcore diamond hand supporters who are the foundation and framework that we're launching off of onto ETH. So we've got a lot going for us out the door that a lot of people don't have a really good community with
Hmm.
us.
And to fully understand about the team, so basically the same team that was behind the CatDoge now managing the migration. So it is the same team kind of like in-house, or is there anything done externally?
Yeah, the only everything is still the same people.
Okay,
The only difference is we have a different contract dev, a better one personally. Like and trust me, like our previous one, he was great. He's really well liked in the space. A lot of people liked what he did, but ETH is a different ball game, and we needed a different contract dev who's a little bit more, like he could handle the intricacies of what we wanted in a rewards contract without it being burdensome on the gas fees. So we need a good dev. I'm really looking forward to telling everybody who the developer is. He's very known, respected, trusted in the space. He's got a great reputation. But we do want to wait till after launch. I don't want to push it
right.
on him to force his anonymity out in the
Hmm.
until he's ready. So
Yeah, sure. And like if you're talking about this, let's talk a little on the safety note. So um At the moment, there is no pre-sale, so we are not checking like those aspects like badges. But if we were talking badges, is there anything we can prove regarding the KIC being doxed? Like how are those things within the project? Or maybe like
Oh,
multi-sign wallet, that like what are the safety aspects over in here?
yeah. So I mean, on the BSC side, we did like several doxed AMAs. Me and Pig were on camera.
Awesome.
Uh, yeah, and we do want to do that again. We just think we want to make it a little bit more marketable this time. Like people
All
can
right.
look forward to
Yeah.
it. If you guys want to dig, feel free. Like we have an archive channel. You could go back. You could just YouTube CatDoge. You'll see us. You know what I mean? But we just think it would be fun if we pushed it off a little bit uh and made it like a marketable thing this time instead of being so casual. Because hey, I mean, there's all kinds of ways you can think of to create like a marketing moment that doesn't cost people like investors money, and it's just all about efficiency really when it comes to marketing.
Yeah, like marketing is
Yeah, sorry.
sometimes good, sometimes shit right there. Like there are differences, and let's let's maybe make that transition and talk now about the current status. So what is happening right now with the CatDoge? Where you guys currently at now? We got over 200 and almost 30 people here, guys. Thank you for all the support. So for all those people or maybe listening for the first time, where you guys at currently?
So we had been planning our relaunch was actually supposed to happen back on October 12th. It was our first plan, and it was weeks ahead of when we said it. Well, the markets, man, I don't know if you guys remember what the markets looked like during that week, but it was nosedive.
Yeah,
So bad. And we're talking to our partners, like we even remember we talking to you, like, what do you think about this? And
yeah. Yeah.
we agreed, like, hey, it's a bear market no matter what. You're never gonna be a perfect time to launch. But look at the market now, bro. Holy shit. We made
Yeah, yeah.
such a good decision.
Yeah,
So
like
I'm really
like
happy
like
about that. We were gonna launch today. And
yeah,
our
yeah.
developer, he'd reached out to us Monday. He said, hey guys, I have this appointment on Thursday. It should get out by this time. And we're like, cool. And so we created this, window of time. Hey, but between these 3 hours. And then, and then I woke up and I got a message from him today. He said, guys, he's like, my meeting got pushed back. And so which I posted in the group with the explanation that we're going to be delaying launch until tomorrow. But this is a good thing ultimately. He's like, hey, this gives me an extra chance to do a triple check on the testing, on the testing side of the contract. He's like, so no worries, and that way we can be 1,000%
Mm.
confident. So it's just like basically like, well, if we're gonna
Yeah.
have a little bit extra time, we'll do a little
Well,
extra due
like anyway,
diligence.
the current state of the markets are like so cool. Like I was like, oh, like when you asked me about like postponing or not, I was like, shit. But the market looks like it won't be good anytime soon. So it's better to be launched. But you made a great decision, though. Yeah, it was a little gamble, but it paid
It
off
was,
right
yeah,
now.
50-50 for sure.
Yeah, 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 right, like exactly, like we were on the verge of either like huge red vegeta or like diamond balls kind of a greens, and I love that we are on on the green side at the moment, right? So yeah, talking about the launch, can we get on information on the supply, the past holders, how the migration is going to happen, what is going to be the initial market cap? So everything regarding the numbers, please.
Yeah, and you know what? This is definitely something that I'll send to you right now because I want you to be able to
Uh-huh, for sure.
put this in your group. I'll send you the final migration airdrop list for the BSC holders,
Mm-hmm.
which you can show to your community so that everybody can see every single address and the exact amount of tokens that they're going to be receiving. And you can watch these wallets and we're going to be too, because we want to know if our hardcore holders, like if any of them are disgruntled or sad or feeling like
Mm-hmm.
they want out, so we can talk to them, like. But this is the cool thing, right? This is something that nobody in this space would probably think to do. Okay, I'm going to be honest. We're basically so okay. So the new supply, The new supply. Remember how I said we sent in about 83% of the supply? Where our first contract had 100 million tokens for the total supply. So when we
Hmm.
got that 83%, it was about 83 million and so on tokens. Um, so 83% of the supply is ridiculous. I mean, that's what you get for having a hardcore group of people who are just accumulating over 4 months, right? The same people
Hmm.
who support a project.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
that's not
Right people.
realistic. Like, how do you relaunch or migrate when you own 80% of the supply and expect other people to come in and actually feel comfortable purchasing and being a part of
That's
that?
right. That's right.
It's absurd, right?
That's a good
So
idea.
we're like, okay,
That's
how can we do this fair? And I'm like, well, I see a lot of pre-sales, private sales that end up being somewhere between 20 and 40% of the supply. And I was like, okay, so let me be realistic. And I was like, how low can I go so that our holders will still be happy, but we can still keep the market open for new investors? And I was like, okay, how about, and I talked it over with my dev and the team and everything. And I kind of felt like, okay, what about 25%? And I said, what if we got 25% of the value of our tokens, basically? And I was like, you know what? I don't want to make this complicated for our developer. I was like, how about no math? How about everybody gets a 1-to-1 token airdrop, but the new contract has 4 times the amount of tokens than were sent in by the community. And now that's how we came to our token supply of 333,420 and 69 tokens. So that will be the new
I mean,
supply of the contract.
that's some of the magic right over here.
Yeah.
Right.
So we every single person in this project, all 70 of those addresses, everyone involved from the BSC side, we are all taking a 75% decrease in the total supply
Yeah, yeah.
percentage that we own
Mhm.
in order to open up the market and grind the project back from the bottom into the Ethereum network to fucking greatness, man.
Yeah, yeah. Like when thinking about it, like wow, like you need to have a certain level of trust in order to perform this and not to be called a scammer, right? So probably those people that are on the list are like a diamond, bold chats over in here trying to support the project, right?
All right, what about the project?
Right, like I'm like I was saying that to have this done and not to be called as a scam, like those people must be trusting a lot to the project and need to be like a diamond bolt kind of chats in order to be okay with, right? Because
Yeah,
75% decrease is a lot,
a lot, man. It's a lot.
right?
That that level of confidence with everybody and like and
Mm,
they understood like we had to talk it out with them, right? We had to understand and we're like, okay, we're sitting at like a 20,000 market cap. All right, we've all seen the chart be higher and we've all watched our value of our tokens lessen. It's just one more dip, guys. That's all it is. We're gonna have less value right off the bat, but if we hit even 500,000 market cap, we're 8 times the previous all-time high on BSC. So it's just like, yeah, okay, if we take this reduction, like, but if we go the distance, we're gonna make it anyway. And it's that long-term thinking, man. Like the short-term thinking has destroyed this space. Um, and honestly, that's how most people lose money in this space is short-term thinking. That I know that for me personally, my biggest losses have been from impulsive short-term positions and stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
Right, right, correct. Like that moment when you made it switch and click and start to panic, like never done anything good. And we can see that mainstream or even degen trading, well, it is simply present everywhere. Well, let's take a perspective from a complete new buy, and I've never heard about a CatDoge beforehand, and I would love to participate on launch. And I got my ETH ready. So what I need to do? What I need to do in order to be ready for the launch? Is there any process or is it simple? Sometimes it's better to introduce the fins at the most easy level as we can, and this produce good results.
I would say, as far as getting involved on launch, I mean, everybody knows that ETH launches are really crazy. Gas fees can be crazy. We have a tool that we direct people to in our group, that MEVBlocker.io. seems to be a good option if people want to try and protect themselves from sandwich attacks and front runs. You know, these med bots that are out there. The other thing, you know, like we're looking to buy on dips because we don't want to lose gas fees trying to fight gas wars with snipers. So just be careful with your slippage, guys. Be careful with your gas on launch. We will be launching tomorrow somewhere between the hours of 1700 to 20 UTC. Um, we like yeah, like I said, we were gonna launch today, but we put it off. He's got that meeting that just kind of got pushed. So
Right, for sure.
um, yeah, and you know what? That's okay. These things happen in the space. Like nobody likes to see it happen, but ultimately, like we even put the message up in the group so people could read that like we're this is not just like we're unprepared. It's just like, hey, dude, it's a fucking curveball. We pivot, no problem. It is what it is. We can't control everything in life, you know. It's
I mean,
all about how you respond.
right, like I mean, better than like run mates and lunch that is just bad. Well, it's better to wait. Like for the good fans, you gotta be patient and wait anyway. And if you had such a support previously, you will get that again and with a good explanation, as I'm sharing at the moment to the Moulin, and you guys are able to learn more about that. Well, it is more than clear that it is going to be okay. Tomorrow is a Friday. Well, I will have time allow myself to watch, so I think you will do as well, as a true legends. Right. Well, I was right. I was about to ask on a little of the lunch day, right? So you guys gonna lunch? Like, what is prepared for the lunch? I've read somewhere that there is going to be a taxes a kind of change during the first 3 hours. So if you can introduce us to the lunch itself, and also what's gonna happen post lunch, is gonna be quite good, Aaron.
Absolutely. I just sent you a description of that. I'll go ahead and read it. So
Okay.
essentially, as far as these additional launch details, we are going to be using a degenerative tax model for the first, uh, I said 3 hours, but it's actually 2 hours. I honestly just, that was a typo. Um, I'm dumb. The first hour is broken up into two different segments, and then the second hour is its own. And I just, in my head, thought three. I was just stupid. It's just the first 2 hours. So the first 30 minutes, the buy tax is 9%, the sell tax is 20. The second 30 minutes, buy tax is 7, sell tax is 15. The second hour, buy tax goes down to 5, sell down to 10. And by the third hour, it's down to the normal 3-3. I do want to make a point of saying like there will not be rewards for the first few hours. It's all going to go to marketing. It's all going to go to support the project. We, you know, we've heard word that there's maybe some sniper groups out there, you know, keeping an eye on the project and stuff. But that is pretty much always going to happen if you talk about your project and even a day before apparently your launch, right? Like we were really careful to like come out super quiet. So yeah, so we have these in place so that if people want to get in, get out quickly, whether they be jeets or snipers, the project is not going to it's not going to be at the detriment of the project. We are going to keep pushing it forward. We have a dedicated buyback wallet that earns rewards just like a holder, and it's used to buy back tokens, then sends it to the marketing wallet because the marketing wallet does not earn rewards because it does not need to. We have a marketing tax. And then if we accumulate quite a bit of tokens in that marketing wallet, we're going to vest them, guys. We're going to lock them up. We don't need them. They don't need to sit there being unlocked and sketching people out. We're just going to lock them up. I know a lot of people like to see burns, but if you're a real project owner in the space and you have long-term thoughts, I mean, there's so much you can do. There's so much centralized exchanges, partnerships, staking. There's so much you can do with supply other than just giving yourself no options and burning it. So, but we don't want it just sitting there. It will be locked up once we reach a certain threshold of like, okay, we don't feel comfortable seeing anything over a 5% marketing wallet, maybe. So, yeah. So, I mean, you guys will see this. We have a multi-sig, 2 out of 3 multi-sig required on both the buyback wallet and the marketing wallet to try and, you know, protect the projects. Not so much necessarily from what it really helps the most in is if somebody gets hacked and tries to do, you know, some
Right.
sort of, transfer. And then we could be like, oh, well, I'm not going to authorize that. So we are trying really hard to focus on the security of the project, not just from the acquiring a really good contract dev, but also just making sure we are setting up the project very carefully. We even created all new wallets, seed phrases, and everything. So it's just they're totally separate. Our owner wallets for the multi sigs. So yeah, we're definitely trying to do everything right on the security aspect there.
Right, awesome. And if you are talking community, I believe people could also ask like, what you plan for the community? Like, how we gonna build a strong community that every single, let's say, mainstream meme got right. Like, you have to create a community that's gonna work for its holdings and that's gonna believe, let's say, the clan of CatDoge, right? So what you're gonna do regarding the community in order to have it strong and basically push with it.
Okay, so this is kind of our strong point, guys. Like I was talking about kind of our origins in the space and the kinds of people we are and the kinds of work we've done. I mean, this is kind of our forte, the front end, man. Um, we've got we've got our social media management skills and community management skills, but we are legendary raiders and chillers. We're going to be very, very active in the group. Expect to see us in VC all of the time, especially me, because these other boys still got to work. I get to sit in my house and do crypto all day, right? And take care of my house. But yeah, so we're going to be very, very present. First of all, not just internally in our groups, but externally in the Telegram, Twitter world, TikTok, Instagram. I'll let Frankie deal with that. I fucking hate TikTok.
I mean, for crypto, it is kind of that anyway. To be honest, like
Yeah.
like the summer 2020-21 was great, but like after, well, not sure, the algo is simply killing any single potential, so it doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah, and I remember when like the crypto influencers on TikTok, they weren't getting monetized anymore and stuff, and like yeah, definitely changed it. But hey, man, I mean, so many young naive investors were just, I mean, yeah, they were definitely getting abused there.
Right. Like it was trending, that okay, like this is pumping. Okay, another like I don't know, rocket come 2 3.0 and stuff 69, and we jump in, right?
8-bit.
Yeah, right. So if you are talking market and like how you guys gonna tackle, like I know that you went with believe you said DeFi Dojo guys are superb. I'm on a good way with JB as well. So how are you guys gonna cover, well, the necessary kind of a point of a marketing where you need to have some of the faces onboarded, right?
We're just hey, we've got our man, we've got really great lounge friends. I mean, all of the places that I think are good places in the space, we have friends, yourself
Right.
included. Like, and that's probably one of the best steps we can take, because it means that we have access to the best and most effective marketing services in the space. We're not wasting money dealing with scammers, or dealing with ineffective marketers. We have lots of doors open to us, and that really makes us feel confident that when the marketing funds do come in, that we have the right outlets to direct it towards. But we don't want to rely purely on financial means to market. Like I said, we are taking a very strong community powered approach to this, because ultimately we are a meme coin and we're focused around creating both an entertaining and cultural atmosphere that stands out, right? And we do have like important milestones that we'd like to reach if we want to really develop this into something that's more than a meme coin, more than a community, like in like powered like environment. Um, and start creating something that could bring even more potential revenue sharing stream in for holders, because we can just add Ethereum directly into the rewards contract for our holders at any point in time. So if we're making money through some of these other ideas in the future, whether it be our news show or an animated series or a video game or an NFTs, all of which we have connections for and conversations going on the ideas of this, and building out this ecosystem as we speak. Looking forward to actually having an official pitch deck. that I can kind of like put together for maybe even some VCs or something. So, like we're moving, guys. Like we are moving toward those goals, but we're not going to pretend like, oh yeah, like this is the this is going to happen no matter what, and overpromise, underdeliver. We're just saying, hey, we're here. We're here as a community. We have these goals. If we reach them, that's great, and we're going to keep working toward them. And until we reach them, we can't create those, we can't develop those
Mm,
things, right? So we don't want to
yeah.
promise developments that won't come. We want to promise if we hit points that we know we'll have the funding to do it, then we can move forward.
hmm Like when we are talking fund, then like I just had a spaces tonight about a product and revenue. So guys, if you pay attention now, you can use the knowledge or information you acquired. So Aaron, I know that you guys are on a meme side of things, but I believe you got also plans for I would call this how I can play with my token. So a little of the utility, right? So are you planning any sort of utility, NFTs, anything that we can talk about?
The primary utility out the door obviously is earning Ethereum rewards. It's
hmm
basically, I mean, that kind of auto reward function is it's really really useful for people who are not as savvy in the scene. You don't need to, and it does trigger on buy and sells, and if you're a holder, you'll have to go into Etherscan to claim directly. We're not going to build a DApp. We think it's safer to just go to Etherscan instead of creating this intermediary that could be exploited.
Yeah,
And also, it's very educational to teach people exactly how to go to source, and because that's, I mean, people need to know where the blockchain is and how to access it and how to look at it because everything else can lie, but the blockchain won't.
yeah. That is true. That is truth. So
Video up
yeah,
for that too.
so we
Day one, we already have our Hollywood buddy ready to do our editing for us and make our how to buy video and how to claim video within 12 to 24 hours of our launch.
right,
Um,
like that's needed for sure. Like I think I've noticed a lot of the change in the space in a way that people are starting to be let's say more and more educated and thinking about their possible holdings, either it is like a degen or not. Some are let's say you cannot simply learn those, but a sort of the people is starting to be really on a different nodes and know a bunch of things. So it is not that easy at the moment to push with a new project. So yeah, like got that, like you, but still you got to have that kind of a simplicity factor in the game because everything applies. Even when I'm creating posts, when I'm let's say running an events, you got to make it simple in order to have a, let's say, pleasurable experience. Right. So we touched a little about the product, but we talked mainly about the ETH rewards. But is there anything else, Aaron, that we didn't mention and that is, let's say, notable to the
yes.
crowd?
Yeah. So let me yeah, actually, if let me send you the white paper just so you can take a little. All right, let me
Right, for
maybe a
sure.
maybe a screenshot of the roadmap just so you guys it's on the website too. But I know
Oh,
it anyway. So basically, the very first milestone, the one that we're really focused on the most, just to get out the door, and that we care about the most, is we want to hit 250,000 market cap. We're probably going to be launching under 10,000 market cap. It's going to be a micro cap for sure because we're starting with about 1.5 ETH in liquidity. Uh, so if we hit 250,000 market cap, three things happen. Um, One, we have a max wallet function. 2% is the max wallet function. We also have a maximum transaction function, 1%. Now, both of those things, they don't translate well in the long term. Centralized exchanges are never going to let you on there if you have a max wallet, max transaction. That's just not going to happen. But we do not want, and we can't afford at such a low market cap to allow someone to potentially come up and buy up a bunch of the supply and hostage our project and ruin it moving forward. Um, and so we wanted to put in some whale protection, but we don't we don't want those to be in there forever because at some point it's going to be very hard to actually accumulate an absurd amount of tokens. There's going to be enough distributed in the markets. They'll be costly enough that it's not going to be an easy thing to do. And we think that that's going to be, I think, a fair time is around the 250K to go ahead and lift that. So what we're going to do, we will be locking liquidity on Unicrypts for a year on launch, right on deployment. And then when we hit that 250K market cap, what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the transaction, max transaction and max wallet, and then we're going to renounce the contract because there's nothing we need to do with it anymore. We think our taxes at a 3.3 will last long term. I think it's kind of a sweet point. It's not too low that we feel like we're gonna, not have enough marketing funds or enough rewards to make people feel happy. It's not too much to disincentivize people from getting involved. We think it's kind of a sweet spot. And so, as far as the long term is considered for what we're trying to do and what we're looking at, I think we'll be good to go for a renounce at that point.
Right, great. Thank you for this. And
so that's the first milestone. The second
Mhm.
milestone is at 5 to 10 million market cap, and that's when we want to start getting into the development of our CatDoge new show, which I won't go into too much detail on. Right, it's all alpha when you get into the details on these things. The NFT collection will have massive utility in the ecosystem. I mean, there will be a lot of things that getting that will do for you as far as access to the ecosystem, and even potentially more revenue share. But once again, like these are all in talks, in developments, to be enacted upon when we reach these goals and have the proper funding to accomplish them. So that's the 5 to 10 million market cap goal, is that development. The the very ambitious 100 to 500 million market cap goal is when we know we can afford to start developing a CatDoge video game, and not a play to earn, but like a classic action adventure, raunchy, funny co-op kind of game. And I don't want to say too much more than that, but we have some really, really cool ideas because we're fucking gamers, and we have a friend that we've worked with on some other little arcade games and stuff with other projects, and we're friends with, who owns a gaming company with like 40 people under him. So we have we have some. It's just
Okay,
that it's
that's
all
something.
about that. Like there's good people and there's good people. We know people, but man, you can't come to the table if you don't got to bring anything. So yeah. When we get there, we get there. If we get there, we get there.
Right, like I mean, good luck on all of those,
Yeah,
and let's
yeah.
and
Thank
let's
you.
hope let's hope for the top, right?
Yeah, and if we hit
I
the
won't be
billion
asking
market
when,
cap,
but
if we hit the billion market cap, our Hollywood homie, we're gonna get that connected to the Netflix that he got. We're gonna go pitch that show, and we're gonna get an animated series going. So these are I mean, hey man, like it's head in the cloud shit. We don't try to pretend like it isn't anything what it is, but it's fun. It's fun to dream, and it's fun to work towards something and to strive towards something and have passion for something, build something, and fucking hey, what else are we doing here in this space if we're not doing that?
I mean, if you have no dreams, usually means either you can push for it, or you lack of creativity, and creativity is needed to push in the space. It is needed to push through hard times, and usually having a dreams means that either you are a crazy guy, or someone who takes it seriously and actually works step by step toward that goal. And for me, dreams are really that pathway of a step after each step till you achieve. And if you got the plan set correctly, as you said, then why it couldn't happen at some time, right? But of course, like, we are talking something else. But in general, in life, guys, this is really a rule that's it is simply true from my end. Maybe Aaron can second that.
You're spot on.
Right.
Not a wasted
Right.
word in that.
All right, Aaron. I think we can also go into possible, I would say, obstacles. They are always on the road, and I would love to ask you about them. I like to ask about them also to other owners. Like, there is always something you are working at, trying to fix. So, is there anything that you are aware of that you guys gonna need to tackle, and if done correctly, you guys gonna push hard?
I think, man, this is a tough one. I think the biggest obstacle is because we have resources, right? And we have
Mm,
ideas, but I think what we need to do is we need to really broaden. I think we need to broaden ourselves to some of these. There's a lot of marketing ideas and stuff that we haven't even necessarily like been exposed to, right? Like there's a lot of really cool, really interesting marketers in the space doing really neat stuff. That some of which works and some of which doesn't. But I think part of the obstacle is just making sure that we ourselves are are doing our best to put together a plan that's kind of like, I don't know, long term. Like we don't want to
mm,
always be like, we've planned out this launch like for weeks and stuff, but I
yeah,
think keeping that planning ahead of time going and like being prepared and stuff and being on top of things is something that's a challenge. But ultimately getting on top of is, I mean, it provides you a really, really good consistent push from your project and everything very well planned out like that. So that I think is going to be the biggest challenge is after our current, plans is keeping one step ahead of the game always. Um, and that's just going to take, yeah, that extra time, commitment, work, energy. And that's probably the biggest challenge ahead, but a very easy one to solve when you come down to it.
yeah, right,
You
right.
just
Like
work.
talking about once again.
I said you just work. That's all you do.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Like we were talking about the challenges, and I think to this space, especially, one of the challenges is one thing, getting the trust of another person, party, project owner, and second, actually trying to cooperate with him and make some of the dealings. Like the space is full of distrust and sometimes jealousy. But if you meet the right people and you are backed by friends and bright minds, you are in the train of let's say cooperation. And it has been truly said. You can do well in the space, and you can also provide goods for the community, and the community can benefit from it. So I'm asking Aaron, like, how you guys gonna tackle the cooperation networking in the space? You already got I would say a good and solid network, but in general we can talk about this with people. So how is this with you? What is the CatDoge Steam agenda toward cooperation networking and trying to making friends around in order to push?
Spend so much time just out and about in the space, which is going to change a little bit, obviously, because we're going to be up, our channel very frequently too. But we like getting out there and talking to people and learning about this space. I mean, this is we're all fascinated and intrigued and passionate about being here and about meeting other people and sharing experiences and sharing knowledge. And I mean, I gotta admit, like this underground world of crypto as it is now and DeFi has really, you really connect with people here on a whole different level because everybody's here is just, I mean, I hate to say it, like they're obviously not super mainstream, especially in a bear market. And so you've got a lot of interesting minds here who just don't subscribe to the normal bullshit, right? And find a lot of like-minded people in that sense too. Uh, and I've found that it's very, very easy to get along with people in the space because of that common understanding of like maybe some of the things going on in the world and the financial sector, things going on in the space. Um, we connect with people really well, and so that's something that we actually look forward to doing. Is like that network will always expand because we're always looking to meet new people and expand our network. Um, so that's probably the number one. We're super open people to everyone, man. Any good people, and we're always open to partnerships if it's mutually beneficial. It makes sense. It's cool to try and develop, like cooperative strategies. And there's so much room for growth in this space that there's no reason we can't all grow together. So I think we make good partners in that. That's
Right, like sometimes it is really hard, and yeah, like I like what you are saying because I think you guys are already around for some time. You've been through a bunch of AMAs, through a bunch of let's say open mics and so on. Like some owners aren't really communicative, and they are not even trying to develop these kind of webs. And I think you can know that you can feel this inside a project. When you come to a place, initially, you feel the vibe. If it is some like if it is hostile, or like not a friendly place, why would you stay for long? Like usually when we are picking place in here, and with me, I'm trying to bring you a long-term ones, and with this, well, we got to think paired. The team also needs to be friendly. We need to have a friendly community environment. We need to have a whole, let's say, politics for all the shrimps, whales, and all the sharks, right? Like if I'm mentioning this, Aaron, could you tell me like if there are any sort of incentives for the whales, and how you guys gonna keep up with the shrimps in order to have them happy, right? Like you don't want to have an army of shrimps at your doors saying it's shit.
Man, I'm hoping, we're really hoping that it's really the rewards, as far as like a utility side, that will kind of bring people together on the same page. Because if you're a
Right.
whale, well, your reward percentage is outstanding, and if we're creating serious volume, I mean, you're getting paid, man. Like that's some serious passive income potential, especially when we get into the bull run and we're still and we push into next level gear. We do want to save a war chest, by the way, so if you guys see a little marketing fund sitting there, don't worry, we need to accumulate for the future too. All right, don't be short sighted. Um, shit, sorry, now I lost my train of thought. Shit, Ellen, help me out, bro.
No problem. Like we can chill or relax. Just take over fence. Well, I think we can also close this whole theme, and talk about. Well, I think it would be good to recap once again the plan and just briefly, Aaron. So I like to do this at the end stages of the AMA. So like we were talking about a bunch of things, but let's recap the major kind of dates, what's gonna happen, and what should people remember, like briefly.
Briefly, guys, we are launching tomorrow, November 3rd, between 1700 and 20 UTC. There will be a degenerative tax model in play. Please see the details in our group. We talked about them a little bit here today, so that you can all get the entry that you're looking for. Be aware of your slippage, be aware of your gas. Um, Use our MEV blocker resource if you'd like to try and protect yourself from your MEV bots. Um, we got a big journey ahead, guys. We have a huge push coming into the not Twitter space anymore, but the X space. We'll be doing with a lot of VCs and Telegram, a lot of spaces on Twitter. We're going to be present in the space for as long as this project is around. Um, we've got our milestones to hit, and in the meantime, we are going to be chilling, raiding, memeing, hanging out. We have all kinds of community games and events that we have plans and contests. And hey, guys, it's going to be fun. Like, ultimately, like, I know everybody in the space is here to make money, but like, I want to make money and have fun. And if I had to choose between the other, I would rather be happy and have fun and enjoy my life and be fucking broke. I mean, I'm serious. So like when I say that this is a serious focus, like I mean it. Like I want us to have a good community. I want us to have a good culture. I want us to grow something and make it the kind of space that Elman talked about, where people walk in and they go, wow, like this is where I want to be. These people are cool. These people are funny. This is neat. Like this is different. And it's just got to be like, that's the experience that I want to have, and I want everybody to have.
Yeah, and like that is so important because once again, like you won't stay long in a hostile environment, or you gonna be frustrated pretty much well in defense or even attacking, and we don't want to have that. We want to have a solid community that has trust, that has a goal, and that share the common feeling that we are onto something, right? Like when that happens, that you got a community full of people that believes that they are onto something with a project, well, it is just outstanding, and usually produces awesome results all around.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have some really interesting guerrilla marketing tactics that we'd like to try out too, but I won't get into that. Me and we have this little inside joke, me and Peg and Frankie, about this particular tactic we'd like to try. Um, but that's that anyway. So there's some cool potential stuff here, that that might be going on. But yeah, man, we're really excited. We're super duper excited.
Awesome, awesome. I like that a lot. Yeah, I think we can slowly starting to wrap up. One thing that I want to ask you guys is, as always, please, for questions, just join the TG and start getting active, because it is the work of the team in order to get you all the answers and also get you on the friendly wave. So please, please, please join the TG, Dior especially. Everything we said was a non-financial advice, but I think that you can at least get a little of the knowledge around, and I think you saw that on the spaces beforehand. Like a lot of knowledge is being shared being shared over in here, and well, let's try to help good people. Let's try to stay away from bad people, and let's stay strong together whenever a friend needs something. This is when we should be active and get on. Well, myself, I will be watching the launch of the CatDoge. I think on Eve it is kind of solid, and usually eve launches like this as well, especially if backed by a strong community. I think guys gonna have everything set correctly. I like that they made the decision tonight to postpone one day. I heard some comments that it is unprofessional and yalla yalla. Well, look at this, like like Aaron is in here with us, and like this is something I value. The same happens with Earn Sphere, right? You remember? Well, I told to Robin, no, like let's hop on the AMA. Let's just talk about fans. And in the end, the line was insane, amazing, like full of holders. And this is it. You need to gain the trust. And this is what we're doing here. Either give it or not. And yeah, well, just my little monologue at the end, and I just only hope you guys enjoyed the talk. And Aaron, I think I will go ahead and ask if there is anything that we haven't discussed and you wanna drop at last.
Yeah, man. You know, you'll see for yourself, guys. Like, just give it time. Everybody can get in whenever they feel comfortable and just watch. We don't have any problem proving ourselves. We don't have any problem building that trust. We're gonna push really hard. Where there's gonna be a lot of buybacks from the team. We want to slow moon this chart. We want to slow moon this project. We want to be in the bull run, experiencing the bull run, ready for the bull run, planned for the bull run, and we'll do whatever we need to do to make it there. Um, and we use all the resources available to us. And this chart is only got up to go, guys. That's what we're going for.
Right, right. Like I think we will see right away. And yes, guys, this was everything that I wanted to talk about with a cat doge. I hope that you enjoyed both of the shows tonight. I can say that a lot of you were on the spaces, and thank you for coming over to the Telegram. Like it is a big quest for me connecting the Telegram and Twitter community. Like sometimes it is not even possible, but you are making it, let's say, look like it is something easy. So thank you for coming from Twitter to a Telegram and back from TG to a Twitter. I admire this a lot, and also thank you for all of you sharing, being genuine, unique. You guys are great, and I find that thanks to Academy, thanks to all of the shows we've been making, some of the education is already around, and also I think a lot of you made a lot of new friends, and that applies same to the owners, because I'm creating a private network of an owners that I feel good around, and trying to help and keep the communities around, which I think is going to happen the same with the CatDoge. Thank you, Aaron, a lot for your time tonight, and also thank you to the community of a CatDoge joining us in here in the Moulin Rouge Lounge VIP after our spaces, and also a big thanks to you, Mouliners. I will be dropping the winners list, just like you are used to in short over in here in the main chat locked. And thank you for your time, guys. I had amazing 2 shows, and see you on the next one. And the next one is going to be tomorrow on a Friday, and it is going to be the last part and the final part of a DeFi Legends Elements Project Academy. We will talk about vision, network, and goals. It's gonna be touching, it's gonna be emotional, and you can bet that you will learn something new. Thank you, everybody. I had a great time, and all of my pardon for the initial troubles with mic. Everything was set on the spaces, but here I got the wrong input, but I think I cleared, and it was a great day in May. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, Aaron, and thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you.